Hello, Eric. I wanted to do a brief video and show you some of the things that we were unable to talk about through the many messages we were passing back and forth on one of Ink Pastor's videos. This, if you have a 4-year degree, you may have had a world religions class. This is how basically religions are broken down into major categories. So when I tell you that your statement, another religion's hell, is false or inaccurate, this is how I know this. So I'm going to show you in the next video the categories, and there's really very few categories for the religions of the world. So Eric, the first separation of all the people on the planet is into two groups. One group is non-theistic. The other group is theistic. That means they believe in some form of supernatural being. You move from there and you see the theistic groups begin to separate. You have pantheists, polytheistic, monotheistic, and then you have a group over here on the end which is really called other. That would be the animistic religions of Africa, Shintoism, and Chinese ancestor worship, things like that. So as you can see, there's really only a few categories for the world's religions. So now, Eric, if you do some research on pantheism, what you find out is pantheism is basically everything in the universe is God. They believe in Brahman, which is their ultimate God, but he's not a conscious God like the Hebrew God is. He is kind of aloof, unattainable. You can't get to him. So that's why they have the idea of karma. And you keep getting reborn, trying to get rid of your bad karma, blah, 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 until you eventually get all your bad karma gone and become one with the universe. So that's their idea. There's no concept of hell. So when you're looking at polytheists, well, polytheists are pretty much out of practice today. That's the Greek and Roman religions. However, there are some theological cults that call themselves Christian that fall into the polytheistic category by definition. That'd be the Mormons, who believe in multiple gods. The Jehovah's Witnesses can get that way if they try to use the defense of Jesus as a little g God, not a big G God. So at that point, they step into polytheism. And there are a few polytheistic faiths, but they don't have a concept of hell. The monotheistic faiths, the big three, that's Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and they appeared in that order, all have the doctrine of hell. Okay, the Greek mythological Hades really just means the place of the dead. So when you get to looking at animism, which is practiced in Africa, the people of Africa, they wouldn't call it that. They wouldn't even recognize the name. That's something that anthropologists have given it. It is a very basic recognition of the spirit realm is what it is, and that they believe that certain things keep spirits happy or anger spirits, or they inherit power, like eating somebody's heart gives you their strength or some crazy stuff like that. That's where that kind of stuff comes from. Ancestor worship, as it's practiced in China and Japan to a little extent, is they believe that if you appease the ancestors, they will bless your house, with no concept of heaven or hell. Shintoism doesn't fit into the same mold that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam do. It has gods, it has spirit beings and dragons and whatnot, but it does not have a concept of hell and eternal punishment. Not like what we have. So when you say you're going to wind up in another religion's hell, what actually winds up happening is you are taking the three monotheistic faiths and you're casting them as a blanket across all religions, and it doesn't fit. They, in fact, pantheists wouldn't even recognize the word sin. So, Eric, I hope maybe this explanation has helped you understand you don't have to know and study all 5,000 or whatever of the world's religions. You don't need to. It's like studying different branches of Christianity. You don't need to. As long as you understand the primary statements that each of the groups make, then you understand the basic premise behind each faith. And so with monotheism, there's one God, period. That's it. There's a heaven, there's a hell, there's sin. That's all you need to know. Polytheism, well, there's multiple gods. There might be a paradise, there might not. Pantheism, the universe is God. That's why they say grass is God, cows are God, blah, blah, blah.